Alright, what is good, brain gang? It's your boy, Muscle Brains, aka Raphael Josephs, back in the building with yet another reaction video. Right? It's been a while since I've done a reaction video, so I don't know if you guys watch my reaction video about calisthenics versus weightlifting. Well, today we have something where would be quite contradictory to what I've said before, as you know, my views have changed in the time span that I've made that video up until now. Right, so in today's video we'll be discussing about hybrids. What are hybrids, you may ask? So hybrids are basically athletes, or say the regular person that works out, who mixes both calisthenics and also weightlifting to bring forth a new being or a new offspring of exercise. You see me? So with the hybrid exercises, what I say, it's quite impactful, and you can see a whole lot of progress if you implement this style in your regular workout routine. So in today's video I have brought a video by the one, the only Austin Dunham, a very prominent young man in the space of calisthenics and someone who does the hybrid workout, to come and tell you the benefits are why you should be doing hybrid workouts. So enough of the chit chat, right? Let us get straight into it. Alright. Alright, let's get straight into the video.
Yo, what is up, 80 team? Austin Dunham back again with another video. So today we're going to talk about weightlifting versus calisthenics. A few years back, I've actually broke it down a lot in another video, like the actual pros and cons to doing weightlifting and calisthenics. But if you don't know by now I take a more hybrid approach to my training, sometimes with a more foundation or more emphasis on the calisthenics, but I have overall a hybrid style of routine. So I'm definitely for both styles of training if that is not obvious by now.
And I have to agree with him on this one. I am also now for both style of training. As I said, from the day that I made the video about why calisthenics is better up until now, my views have changed. I have constantly been having conversation with myself about the benefits of the hybrid and how it can help me to improve my mobility, my body strength, and also how my body looks. Alright, I talk too much now, so let's get back to the video.
So what we're going to do instead in this video, instead of discussing the pros and cons, I'm going to talk about why you should do both, like the benefits of doing both and having a hybrid routine. Alright, so also before we get into it, I do have a full course talking about the hybrid training fundamentals that you must know. Guys, this is absolutely free, and it's going to be the first calisthenics, the relative strength. There is a correlation to absolute strength a little bit, and we've seen this by me testing my max bench press over the years, done many videos showing that translation to the absolute strength. But on the vice versa, a lot of weightlifters find themselves still struggling with the relative strength. So the best way to get the benefit out of both strength curves is to simply do what? That's right, do both styles of training. So that way you have access, in a way you can say, to both relative and absolute strength depending on what you're working on. Overall, it just makes your strength way more well-rounded. Instead of being only really good at one certain strength curve, you can now access the benefits of both.
Alright, so what I mean by the benefits of both, meaning calisthenics is more like centered on your body weight and you managing your body weight, while weightlifting is, you know, being able to lift, how would I say, objects outside of yourself, outside of your you know, your everyday movement. Cause you know, every day you walk, you get up, meaning you have to control your body weight. So weightlifting is, you know, it comes in handy in an instance where you have to lift something heavy in the house to get it from one area to the next. So yeah, that's just a little breakdown.
And let me tell you, it is a truly awesome feeling knowing that, you know, one day you can go to the park, work out with your calisthenics friends, but the next day, my weightlifting friends, my powerlifting friends, I can also keep up with them. So you will know once you actually experience it, but that is one of the biggest benefits to hybrid training, in my opinion. Another benefit, and this is more targeted towards weightlifting, but weak point targeting, or just lagging muscle groups in general. So with calisthenics, it's very compound heavy base, right? It's very hard to isolate different muscle groups without any sort of extra equipment, extra resistance, whatever the case may be, right? Because we're doing push-ups, pull-ups, dips. All these are working multiple muscle groups at one time. But let's say that, you know, you're trying to progress in pull-ups, but it's not your back that is weak, it is your biceps that are weak and that is holding you back. So what do? You should transfer more into weightlifting now, a more isolation weightlifting focused type of thing, and start doing maybe some bicep curls or any other external resistance that will help isolate or target a certain muscle group. Now, yes, we're
speaking facts, bro. Straight up facts.
Biceps, you can do a few isolation exercises for the biceps with calisthenics, but when you do it with an external load, meaning not pulling your body weight, you'll find that it's much better. And for me, that lagging or weak body part was my medial delts. And I didn't realize this until I was hopping on YouTube a lot and people are like, bro, do you train shoulders? And I'm like, yeah, I do handstand push-ups, I do all this other stuff. But, you know, I wasn't using the weightlifting to the best of my ability to kind of combine that lagging muscle group too. So,
you know, I can attest to that because I have a let's say a difficulty doing pull-ups. And I don't think it's because my back is weak, you know. I think it's because, you know, the same thing that we was talking about, where, you know, you target the weak points with the weightlifting. So yeah, I'm going to implement that and give you the result of that.
Definitely huge benefit, and like I said, that's more on the weightlifting side, but it can go both ways. Number 3, novelty. So this is something that you won't experience until you've done years of calisthenics training or years of bodyweight training. And one thing I've learned about human nature is that everything gets old after a while. Like after a while, you will always get bored with anything, especially if you are good at it. And so through time, I found myself kind of getting bored with calisthenics, like here and there. It just became like a little too routine for me. So in order to spice things up, as people like to say, I started adding a little bit of weightlifting in the mix. Started, you know, implementing a little bit of hybrid principles. Just like when you're in a long-term relationship, 15, 20, 30 years, right? What do they say in order to keep the relationship going? Or,
you know, and you can relate to anything in this, as it relates to business, your everyday life, you know, your relationships with people, as he said before. You know, you have to add something new to it to give it a bit more spice, because if you keep on doing something over and over, it's gonna become bland, it's gonna become boring, you're gonna get so used to it. So yeah, I understand where it's coming from.
Keep it more exciting. You gotta spice things up in the bedroom. So add a little here, there. I added a little dumbbell or a bench press, or, you know, stuff like that, guys. There's ways to spice things up, and overall, the novelty that I got through hybrid training made my workout life more fun and more exciting, and overall kept me more motivated. So if you find yourself, you know, lacking motivation when it comes to doing calisthenics for a long period of time, or even weightlifting, like how I first started off, then add in that little bit of spice and it could change up your whole entire life. The last reason why you should do both is variation under circumstance. So what I mean by this is just overall having the knowledge to train it in both manners. It's like a superpower. Remember, like I said, one day you can work out with your calisthenics friends, next day you can work out with your weightlifting friends. But we've seen in cases like having a mass pandemic where nobody can go to the gym unless you have some sort of home equipment, people are forced to work out with their body weight and learn calisthenics, right? And so with me, I remember during that time frame, it was not an issue for me at all. If anything, it brought me deeper back to my roots of doing calisthenics and it reminded me how much I enjoyed it. But the point is that I can do both styles of training with no issues at all.
Ain't gonna lie, dude buff, bro. Dude well buff. You see me? Not too buff, you know. He's like the perfect balance, you see me? That's where I'm aiming towards, you know. Not too buff, but buff enough that someone sees him on the road and says, "Oh, I'm not about to mess with him."
Because I know how to work out both. I can train with multiple people. I can teach multiple people and coach multiple people based on what their goals are. Like I said, if they want to do both, if they want to have more calisthenics base, or if they want to have a more weightlifting base, I have the knowledge and the resources over time and experience to be able to do both, like I said. So if you're a trainer or a coach, or during the pandemic you find yourself like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, chances are hybrid training will definitely benefit you too. So guys, those were the reasons why you should probably do both within your routine, and those are the reasons why I personally do both. Remember, I have a free course on the hybrid training fundamentals.
Alright, so yeah. So that's it for the video, right? And I hope you wanna learn something new from it. Because, you know, I myself learned a whole lot from it. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing hybrids. That's it for today's video, Brain Gang. I am out.